Now it says on my screen the broadcaster. Now we're live. Now I see the broadcast.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, like
The
20
funniest
minutes
thing
into
just happened, guys.
it. Boy, do we have a story to tell you. Let me tell you what I tell you. We did have a good opening. We did. Trust me when I tell you we did. There was a little aligning issue with Heaven pulling the curtains back, but nothing big deal. I gave a nice little monologue about Tiger Woods' update on the crash.
Right.
Evan gave us a little input, even getting a little personal with some of his stories of his near-death experiences behind the wheel.
Correct.
It was good, trust me. He'll say in his live maybe later. But it was good, trust me. The main thing is, as of now that we're live, as of now, Tiger's resting comfortably, as they say in the business. He's resting comfortably in the hospital. They're thinking that maybe with these experts, when it comes to these car accidents, they think that maybe he fell asleep behind the wheel. No evidence of skid marks on the road, maybe in his underwear, but definitely not on the road. I mean, but and very fortunate that he's alive. And now there's speculations also. Who knows if he's? I mean, because he had multiple fractures where the fractures were, I mean, through the skin, bones crushed,
Right.
so he had a lot of screws and pins put in, and it's going to take a lot of rehab. It's going to be a while for him to walk, let alone pick up a golf club and,
Yeah.
yelling for
The
anytime
golf
soon.
course thing, I'm not even thinking about him playing golf no time soon. Because, like I said, um, two major fractures in his
Yeah.
leg.
Ugh,
You know,
ridiculous.
so I'm not looking for Tiger Woods to play golf anytime soon.
Nope, I am not either. And the main thing is that he just be alive, and just rehab. I just think it's gonna really bother him because when you're a plus type personality like him,
Hmm.
and then you're telling him, well, I know, Mr. Woods, if you're gonna walk again, let alone pick up a golf club, and then gonna take time to walk, and then he's gonna really want to go out there again.
Right.
And who knows? I mean, he got his son that I've heard is doing pretty good. That he's like the next. He's like his father in a way, like a little
Hmm.
prodigy himself.
Right.
So I think
Well,
he would
a
want to stay
little
alive and
Tiger
say,
Junior.
yeah. I, I think he wants to stay alive and say, you know what? I'll just let you do it. I'll just watch, from the side.
Right.
This is my last warning, I think. I mean, you
Yeah.
see,
I
downhill.
think he better take heed to these warnings and whatever Tiger has been doing, Tiger, just get your life right, bro, because somebody is really rooting for you because you could have been taken out. And when you look at his situation, he probably should have been taken out by now. Out of these three wrecks and these things that's happening, and all the times that he's probably driven under the influence, because he had a drinking problem.
That's right.
So just very lucky, man. And he needs to Tiger. You need to get your life right, bro.
Yeah,
Like
that's why.
telling you, you're getting a lot of chances. You're getting a lot of chances that people just don't get. The
Nope.
type of accidents that you had, you know, and then
Yeah.
you look at people like Paul Walker and as you said, Billy Martin, they didn't get that second
One
chance.
time. Just that one time.
Right? So,
And that's all it takes sometimes.
bro,
It's
you
just,
gotta Tiger. I want to see you more so than playing golf. I've already come to the grips with you're not gonna break Jack Nicklaus's record.
no, I
I
don't
just
think
want
so.
you to be alive, bro. Like years from now, we can say we saw Tiger Woods and he's still alive. So
Yeah, his health is more important than just a long road to recovery.
right.
Because I can't imagine when that pain set in. I know he's getting good drugs for that. That's what good pain kills. Like, ooh, this is nice. Are you really here or there? Yeah. More morphine, please. No,
Yeah, I don't blame him.
yeah,
I don't
you know,
blame him.
and the thing with me is just to share a little side note. You know, I thankfully in my life never been a patient in a hospital, like as far as a stayover.
Oh, really?
Thankfully, never. I've been very fortunate,
Bro.
very fortunate, and I'm gonna say it. I don't trust hospitals. I really don't trust hospitals. And Halloween 2 even put it more into fact why I don't trust hospitals. Freaking lights going out.
Halloween.
Ooh, you don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, some maniac walking in the hallways, trying to find somebody that he's trying to kill, but meanwhile killing everybody in the process.
Right.
Certain things you hear on the news. Oh, this person died. You know, we mysteriously. We don't know what happened. Yeah, all these little. Look, listen. I'm sorry. I want my own room. I ain't sharing nobody. Lock the door if I can. No, I'm not. I don't trust. I'm sorry. I hopefully for the rest of my life, which is highly doubtful because we are human, I don't have to be as far as an inpatient in a hospital. God, be with me if that is, because I'll be staring at that door like
Michael Myers coming in here.
I'm telling you that, and I've seen other shows like that, and I go to my wife. See, that's why I don't like hospitals. See what happened? It's a TV show. I don't care. TV shows sometimes give you that they put in some realness into it. Why do you think they put it in sometimes? It's a subliminal message. See,
Right.
that's what I'm telling you. Even Tupac was like, "Get me out of here" when he first got shot.
Did. Yeah, he was
He
like,
was saying, "Look, get me out of here, ma. Get me out of here." Yeah, screw that.
that
That's why
is
I'm
true.
just saying. And let me put that out there. I'm not saying all hospitals are bad. I'm not saying, for all you healthcare workers, I'm not downing you. I'm just
Right.
saying, being in a hospital, it's kind of creepy. I'm just saying, I never liked hospitals. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not downing
Man,
all you
I
people
I've spent
save
my time
lives.
in there. Like I stayed overnight. Like
Ugh,
I've had like my appendix taken out and
oh, bro.
gallstones, and
Ugh.
then I had to I had to stay overnight one time for the fucking excuse my French, for the priapism problem. uh with the long needle, when the nurse comes to long needle, you're gonna stick that.
Wait a minute. Did you ever? And please, did you ever have a? I don't even want. You ever had a catheter put in?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Had to
Oh,
have the catheter put in for that for when I was
oh,
in there for that. Oh my god, it was awful.
oh,
Awful.
oh, man.
Thank God I didn't feel it. Like when they put it in, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, because I want
But
to kill somebody.
right. But I'm
I,
just gonna try my best to stay out of a hospital like for the rest of my days.
because
Not
you would
fun.
think you would think by now, like it's 2021, a less barbaric way of doing certain things like
Right. I mean, come on, man.
that. I mean, Jesus, like, yeah, for us guys, I mean, I just nah, I say, what you gonna do? What? I'm pissing on the bed right here. Thank you. You gonna have to really knock me out. I mean, I have to be dead, and then you can make.
Right.
I
I
mean,
ain't sick yet. I still feel something.
ah, does it? And it feels weird, don't it? Does it like feel like it's not
Feels
right?
weird. Like feels like you're like peeing on yourself, but you're not even peeing.
Ah,
Doing it like I'm like, oh my
oh,
god.
God.
I was like,
Oh,
what is going on here, man?
that's terrible,
I think
bro.
I had to have one in when I had my. Did I have to have one when I had my appendix taken out, or when I went? No, for when I went for that the priapism incident. I think that's when I had
Mm.
one put in. I don't think I had one put in for my appendix.
Oh, that's just terrible. See, more reasons why not to go to the hospital.
Yeah, nothing fun.
But
But
get well wishes to Tiger Woods and to all the hanger-ons, especially those women he's with. Can you stay out the public light, please?
yeah, everybody wants
What?
to come Tiger. Oh my, all the exes, all the
Yeah.
ex chicks are so worried and stop it.
Yo, did you see the one of the mistresses he had. She's coming out with like a dating app or something, or some crap like that. She's like saying, "Oh, when I heard the news, I was in New York, and oh, I felt so terrible." Like, okay,
Yeah, terrible because you guys were part of this issue the first time around. You should feel terrible. You
yeah,
helped
exactly.
destroy possibly the greatest golf ever.
Mm-hmm. He put himself in that situation,
But
but
what do we got on the
hopefully,
bill for tonight
oh, what's that?
for sports?
Well, really nothing else. I figured that since because really I didn't see really nothing else as far as worth talking about other than besides Tiger. The only thing I thought of was also since we're getting near the All Star break, I figured we would have a Lakers state of address from you on how you're feeling about the first half of the season. I
Um,
mean, your thoughts on that for a few minutes, if you.
well, I'll say this, and I'm not like how the other Laker fans are like, no worries. So what? It's just February. You know, he's playing without AD,
Hmm.
and he was playing without Schroeder for 4 days. They're gonna. It's February. Playoff LeBron. Okay, I have no doubt that LeBron is going to up his game come playoff time. But here's what I'm seeing that I'm a little concerned about. Um, it's like the championship layover type hangover type thing.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Reminds me a lot of my Lakers when after we three-peated and we
Hmm.
were going for the four-peat with Shaq and Kobe.
Okay.
Then when we were going for the three-peat with Kobe and Gasol. Now, all through the year with Shaq and Kobe, and when they were going for the four-peat, that's when we had just right before we got Karl Malone and Gary Payton Nolan.
Yeah,
We
that
had
was before '04. Yeah. Hmm.
pretty much through the year. We didn't win best record. We didn't get to number one seed. It was kind of like, let's just get through the season, get to the playoffs. We got a couple of nicks and injuries or whatever.
Yeah, they were bored.
I mean, we had a couple of nicks and natchings, and so then we said, just get to the playoffs.
Uh,
And then we got to the playoffs, playing lackadaisical. We beat Minnesota in the first round.
hmm.
Um, Minnesota, no, Minnesota. We played in the second round. They actually had home court that year.
Oh,
Kevin Garnett had actually got Minnesota to the number one seed,
yeah, that
and
means Marbury was still on the
no,
Wolves, then,
Harvey was
right?
gone. Yeah,
Oh, he already
Marbury
was with the Knicks by
was
then.
on the Knicks or
Okay.
Net.
Hmm.
He was on the Nets at this point,
Okay.
and he went and got Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell. He had,
Yes,
he
that's
had
right.
brought them over to the Timberwolves,
That's right. Yeah.
and
Yeah, I got you.
they got the number one seed. We ended up beating them in like 6 games, and then we played the Spurs, and we didn't beat the Spurs. The Spurs won in 6,
Hmm.
and that stopped the Lakers from
Four
four-peating.
feet. 4 feet,
Um,
Jay.
I see a little bit of that now. Like, well, let's just get to the playoffs. But what people have to realize is this: number one, Anthony Davis has the same injury that Kevin Durant had a couple of years ago in the finals, where they
Hmm.
said it's a calf strain. He
Hmm.
just needs some rest,
Yeah.
and it's fine. But when he came back from the calf strain, he tore his Achilles,
Yep.
right? So I'm
Hmm.
a little worried about how much this injury really is, and if we can afford to keep him out the entire season until the playoffs. Now, if we're
Hmm.
gonna do that, LeBron, and I know all the LeBron apologists are all, he's the MVP, He'll be fine. It's another. But as much credit as we give LeBron, I know they were playing without Schroeder and without Anthony Davis, right? But even without those guys, if you are that guy that everyone says you're the best player on the planet, you know, you have to beat the Wizards. It doesn't matter if you don't have Dennis Schroeder and Anthony
Hmm.
Davis.
That's
The
right.
Wizards are 10 and 18. So you should not have lost to the Wizards.
No, that was
Uh,
embarrassing.
right. There was another team under 500 that they lost to. Those teams, this isn't the Clippers and the Jazz and upper echelon teams.
Yeah.
These are the bottom feeder teams. So even without Dennis, you can't tell me that LeBron is the best player on the planet and then say he needed Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
true. It's one way.
so
It's one or the other. You
right.
know.
So then
You're right.
we lost four straight.
Yeah.
Schroeder comes back, and now we just beat the Warriors and we beat Portland. And oh, see, he needed to. Well, then you can't tell me he's the MVP if when Russell Westbrook, right? When Russell Westbrook lost Kevin Durant and he lost Serge Ibaka, this dude was put the team on his back, got
Yep.
him to the playoffs with nobody on the team.
That's
I think
correct.
he won 45, 46 games that year. He averaged a
Hmm.
triple double.
Yep.
Um, so that's what I need LeBron doing. Some of these games, you have to win all of the games that you're supposed to win with or without
Hmm.
it. And
Yeah.
there's gonna have to be some nights where you beat teams that you're not supposed to beat.
Hmm.
Without Anthony Davis. That's what the best player on the planet does. It always gives you a chance. When
Hmm.
you have the best player, especially when you're not in the playoffs and it's just night by night, when you have the best player, he's always supposed to give you a chance to win the game. You can't
Yep.
tell me he needed Dennis Schroeder. Now, Dennis Schroeder's a nice player. Don't get me wrong, but LeBron is there saying some people are saying it's the GOAT.
The king.
So so you're the GOAT, you got to beat the Wizards.
Yep.
I don't care
Hook
whether
it back to.
Schroeder's there or not.
Yep.
You should be
Right.
enough with the guys you
Right.
got. And all I've
That's
heard
it.
all year was we're deep. This team's deeper than last year. Okay, so it shouldn't be an issue beating teams like the Wizards and even before that, even with Anthony Davis, we were winning games. We were in overtime with teams like the Pistons and the T Wolves, and like all the games were close. Even the games we were winning, I don't remember any blowout victories at all. So halfway through, I'm okay with where we are with our record. We're second in the West. I'm hoping that LeBron can get some sort of rest for through the All Star break, and I don't really think he needs to play every single game. I know what he's trying to do. I know LeBron, deep in his heart, he wants to catch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and
Hmm.
he ain't gonna ever do that taking off games. He's gonna need every single game.
Yeah. I mean, how many points is he behind now? I know he's number two overall.
He's
Um,
gonna be two overall.
how close? I gotta see here. How close
I'm gonna
is
find
LeBron?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many
Uh,
points?
yeah.
Yeah, how many?
And while you do that too, I do give the devil his due. No matter who I like or don't like, I'm like you. I'm transparent. I'm gonna give you the facts, whether you like it or not, and that's how it is. And
Right,
I commend him for playing as much as he. I mean, he's playing every minute,
and
so
every
you
minute.
can't say he doesn't play or he's sitting out. And also, he rarely gets. He don't get hurt because he's such a
Don't
physical
get hurt.
specimen.
Iron Man, like he
Yeah, he's
he got hurt
amazing.
that 1 year. That was it. And it's
Yeah,
like
but I don't even remember when
dudes
that was.
that right, dudes that he got hurt his first year on the Lakers. I think he missed like 17
Oh, okay.
games.
The year
And, that,
before
and,
last. Yeah.
and when he got hurt, now they're a terrible team. When he got hurt, we were the fourth seed. And then when he came
Mm,
back, we were out of the playoffs. So
yeah.
right now, Karl Malone is second,
Oh, Karl Malone's second. Okay.
36,928. And LeBron is at
Third.
um
Then.
yeah, well this was on February 19th. So LeBron was at 35,017. So he's gonna
Mm,
probably pass Malone next year, early next
mm.
year, and then he's got he's got about 3,000 points. Wow, that's a lot.
Okay.
3,000
So,
points to get to
3,000
Jabbar.
points. Okay. So he's 18th season. That's a long.
Right.
He's been playing since '03.
So let's say he averages 25 games, which he's doing right now, and he plays. Well, this year's only 72 games. Let's say he plays 72
Okay.
games, right? And then he would have to do that. He would have to average 25 a game this year, next year, and the year after. He would have to average about 24, 25 points a game and play at
Mm,
least 74, 75 games. It's not going to
mm,
be easy. Um, I think he's going to do it. Um, but I think the year that he does do it is going to be like he's going to be averaging like 17, 18.
yeah.
I just think it's going to be durable enough to last it out, and then he's going to probably average about 17, 18 points.
Hmm.
So that's my take on them as far as halfway
Yeah.
through. I think they still, if Anthony Davis comes back healthy, I mean, if he is
Hmm.
healthy enough, if he's 80%, I think they win the title again. If
Hmm.
he is not healthy, if he's like Kevin Durant or less
Hmm.
than 80%, maybe they get knocked off by the Clippers or maybe they get
Mm.
knocked off by somebody in the Eastern Conference. Um, the Nets look. I mean, what can you say?
Well,
I
that's
mean,
now.
they got three all-world offensive players. So I know their defense leaves a lot to be desired, but if they're going to score 130 every night, that's their defense. The defense
Hmm.
is you're gonna score 125 and we're gonna score 126 and we're gonna beat you every night.
It's
So
gonna be.
that's
It's
what
gonna
they
be
want to
yeah.
do. Now we know in the playoffs things slow down or what have you, but you got Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant if they're all playing and they're healthy. Throw in
Yeah.
Joe Harris, Joe Scrub. Um,
Yeah. Well, they definitely have an
these
easier
Hall of Famers
road.
on the team and pretty much in
Mhm.
their prime.
Yeah, they have the easier road, no doubt, than the Western Conference. But we shall see what we shall see.
It's gonna be
I hope
tough
it does.
because Milwaukee, hell,
Philadelphia. Is Philadelphia any? I mean,
good
my
this
my
year.
Knicks. My Knicks are playing 500. They're looking very good, unlike how they've done the last few years. Tom Thibodeau, the
Even the
coach.
Knicks are not
I love him.
easy
Hmm.
outs this
No, it's not easy outs at all. But I'm not giving them the crown yet. I'm not like some of
year.
these
Right.
sports shows. They're already talking about, oh, what about the Jazz? You see the Sean play the Jazz I've been doing? I was like, what? Can we wait till like we get to like that's now. Like things can
Yeah,
happen from now to
that's
freaking
Utah.
May.
That's been Utah
You
like
know,
the last 4 years. They've had like the
they
top
always do
two
that.
best record in the West, and then they do nothing in the playoffs. So
Yeah. Unless you bring in back John Stockton, Carmelo in their prime with that team,
Right.
And 97,
And
98 teams
that would mean
can
that
come
they
back to me.
still because they didn't win.
Yeah, until they were no. By the way, a lot of people forget. We saw when this happened. It wasn't like those teams were slouches at all. They were not slouches. Those Utah
Nope.
teams. The Bulls really had to play hard, especially in that last final year. I mean, they barely escaped against the Pacers that year. They went to a game 7, which Jordan rarely did during those years. And
Right.
then as far as with the Jazz, I mean, they had to really bust their rear ends to beat them. Even the year before they did, in a way. It just that famous sick game the year before that, where obviously somebody poisoned him purposely. One of somebody used,
That's great.
I
I'm
believe
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's great. I like that. I love it.
I believe it. I believe that
I mean,
happened.
that
I
is
believe it.
that's fans. That's fans. I love
I
it.
believe it.
You know,
I believe
now,
it.
I wouldn't have loved it if it would have happened to Kobe or Shaq. On my team,
Or
I love it.
LeBron in this case for
Yeah,
you,
right now, definitely not.
But there was an old quick funny story where Lawrence Taylor was in his prime with the Giants. He would actually hang out with the opposing players the night before a game. So they were doing the night before, you know, getting all drugged
Yeah,
up and having a good time. And then when the gameplay was like, okay, I'm ready, because Lawrence Taylor, it didn't
right,
matter. He would. It didn't matter if he was whatever he was. He still played well. So it didn't
right.
matter when it came to heaven. I mean to heaven to to Lawrence Taylor. So and they were like crap. That's like what they like with Michael Jordan, where Michael Jordan would what was that event? And he says, oh he's a friend to you off the court, but on the court he's another person. Well, duh. Wait, he's supposed to let you win? Yeah. There's business, and then there's off the court. There's business and there's other stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
just funny to me. So those stories, yeah, but I definitely he got it was something that he ate a pizza or something. I think it was a pizza or something
uh,
was that was probably full of who knows what they did to it. They probably piss on it or whatever they
they did something to it, and all this time,
did.
everybody thought it was flu. And typical Jordan fashion, he just let them think it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny
Let
when
them think
people
it
thought, oh, that was
playing with the flu.
I loved it around that time. Oh, that was an act. He was acting. Yeah, okay. That he deserved Academy Award then if he's acting. Robert De Niro with a basketball.
Right. Now, you said that you wanted to tonight wanted to go over our biggest disappointments as a fan.
Yeah, as far as with our teams, yeah.
Okay.
Like one, like if they won a really
I probably know them. I know them offhand. Um, and I could tell you I could tell you in all three sports. I could even give it to
okay,
you in hockey, but we don't have time for
gotcha, exactly.
that.
Even
So
although it says only 28 minutes and 36 seconds of counting, we were actually on longer than this. It's just that we weren't on live. We didn't realize. But anyway, go ahead.
um, well, with the Mets, we'll start off with them. So many disappointments.
Oh, do I know?
Um, with them, and I'm not even going to the Subway Series because we didn't
Yeah,
we didn't
I
expect to
wouldn't.
win the Subway Series, right? So
I
it's
was. I
not even
wouldn't accept that answer anyway.
because we didn't expect like to win that.
Yeah.
But I go to series that we were expected to win and did not win,
Oh,
and
I
that
think I know.
came up
Ooh,
small.
ooh,
And
I
the
know.
first one is the '88 series.
I knew it. I
Now,
knew it. Yep.
the
Yep.
'88 series, we had just won in '86.
Yep.
'87, we had a lot of injuries. Doc got hurt, whatever. So
Yeah, there was the
'88,
cocaine
Doc
thing.
is back because Doc got all the '87, the Rotator Cup, I believe. Um, he comes back
Actually,
in
I
'88.
Yeah.
Um, the Mets, I believe, that year. I'm not. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I
But
remember '87 though. It was more of his the drugs got him in trouble, and I
yeah,
remember he was suspended a little bit, and then he came back. You know, and
right.
I remember that first game he came back, he pitched
87
very well.
that year.
Yeah,
Now, 88. I'm
they
looking
won
this
over
up.
100 games or something like that. They won 100 or something like that.
1980, right?
Well, we're
2017.
going back in the DeLorean right now, boy.
This was
uh,
this was
there we go.
disappointing because when we went into the playoffs, I'm like, okay, you know, we got this year. We're gonna go back
Mm-hmm.
to the World Series. That year we won 100 games. We still had Davy Johnson,
Yep, you want?
160. I was out. Finished
Yeah, about to
first,
say. Yep, by 15
right?
games. By 15 games,
Right.
you were in
Finished
first
first.
place.
So we were like, okay. Um, I remember that year because I was like, all right, we went back. Doc had now became more of a finesse pitcher.
Yeah,
He
then
still threw 94. He was no longer throwing 98,
no, he
right?
wasn't just striking everybody out like he was.
But he was throwing 94. He had the incredible. He had now developed that incredible curve, and when we the moment I knew that the it changed is when there was a game. I don't know if it was game 5, but there was a game that we were in the lead,
Hmm.
and they were like, if the Mets can win this game, they wouldn't have to see Hershiser because that was the
Mm.
year that they were pitching Hershiser on like 2 days rest, and he was like the only pitcher the Dodgers had. And this freaking dude, I believe he saved Game 7, and I think he won. I think he won 3 starts. I believe he started 3 games. I believe he
Oh,
started
I could look at,
one,
yeah.
4,
Okay, go to that right now.
6, and then he came in and relieved 7,
He did a
if
Randy
I'm not
Johnson,
mistaken.
like I bum Gonheimer.
Yeah.
Here come John
So
Wayne. Yeah.
winning with Gooden, and then Mike Sosa, the least expected guy on the team. Mike Sosa hit the home run off of Gooden. He was dueling
Yeah,
that game,
that was the
and
beginning and the end. Ninth inning.
that took
That was
that took the.
I
I
think
mean,
I think I think that was
I'm the
game
type
four, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
have such a relationship with my teams, especially the Mets. The only time I wasn't right was the '86 series. I usually know when they're not going to win, and
Mm-hmm.
it usually don't take me long because I could tell from just right away the armor's going, and just like, oh, none of the bounces are going our way. I'm like, dude, we're not winning this game. And my big disappointment for baseball was the '88 series. Second
uh,
biggest disappointment had to be the Beltran holding the bat because
oh
we
yeah,
were
the
better than
goal.
the Cardinals. We were better than the
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals. We should have been in the World Series that year.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my 2 biggest disappointments: '88, and then I believe that was what
6.
2006.
Well,
Wow. Um,
yeah. I still remember
wow,
Yadier. I still remember Yadier Molina's home run.
geez. And it was so long ago. But yeah, that was my that was my 2 biggest disappointments. And
Yeah, Hirsch. But by the way,
with
Hershiser
88,
won Game 7, so that means he pitched in more than just a few innings. He probably started that game.
he made he I think did he complete that game? I
Yeah,
think he
he
threw
did.
three
He
games.
won. He won that game. He won that game 7. Yep.
He must have came in relief in game 6. One of those games, this
Yeah, maybe
dude
game 6 because game 7 he pitched a complete game.
game 7. So he pitched 3 games. Look back at
Hmm.
that series. He pitched three. He pitched 3 games.
He was the National League MVP, National League Championship Series MVP, and World Series MVP that year. And don't forget that year he broke like the scoreless streak record.
Yeah.
He broke. Can't believe I forgot that Hall of Famer's name from the Dodgers. And it was like 50 something straight innings without giving up a run, something like that. You know, I remember.
Was
Like,
it
wow.
Don Drysdale?
Yeah, Don Drysdale. There you go. Don Drysdale. That's it.
They've
Yep.
had some
Don
great.
Drysdale. Yep. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Sandy Koufax. I remember it was the other guy. But Don Drysdale. Yeah, that's right.
Those
Yep. He broke his
are my
record.
disappointments for them
That was
for
his year, man.
baseball. Those,
That was his year.
I can't even. I don't even want to ask you what was your biggest disappointment for baseball because your team hasn't really had any disappointments.
Not really. Although we were this close to a four-peat by
Three
just a
zero
few
has
outs.
to
This this by this much, and a lot of people are so dumbfounded when I say that was worse than the choke in '04 to me. And people are like,
what series? Arizona.
yeah, the Arizona World Series, because we were right there.
That's your
And
biggest.
what made to me, why was it disappointing is even though, and a lot of people forget, the Yankees really didn't play great in that World Series. They just had big moments with those home runs in the ninth inning and,
Should have
in
lost
game.
the game to Yum Yum Kim. That series should have been over, bro, and you know
It
it.
should have been, I mean, let's
That
be honest.
series should have been over.
Let's be honest. But let's be honest. That series should have been over in 5, if that.
That's why I'm shocked that it's one of your big disappointments because they shouldn't
Well,
even
we
been.
right there. I mean, no one let alone no one repeats, let alone three-peats or four-peats anymore. So to be right there, just right there, and we would
That
have
would have
been
been what,
known.
3P, right?
That was the one we were going for the four-peat. The three-peat we did on the Mets. That's how we got the three-peat. 2000, and then '01 would have been the
4P.
four-peat. And the thing is that what made it disappointing is because we had it, even though we didn't play well. It was right there, which it makes no sense
They
considering
played mediocre, and they're sitting here with Mariano on the mound.
Marlins. Yes,
They didn't even play that well in that series.
and we still had it. But see, that's why it's disappointing because had it been what we like the way it looked, and we lost, let's say, a sweep or 5 games. All right, it would have sucked, but like, okay, well, they beat us up. Okay, I can accept that. But when you're right there, knowing you didn't really play well, we had a low team batting average in World Series history to come this close to winning a title. And then on top of
Right.
that, we didn't beat their 2 studs, but we still were right there. It was given to us on a silver platter. And what a lot of people forget is that Rivera pitched the inning before in the 8th inning, and he went 1, 2, 3 like nothing, like if they were, not even single A players. Then comes the 9th inning. A lot of people forget.
Right.
What's his name? I can't believe I forgot his name. Who we used to have on the Yankees, but we used to have a reliever. Not I forgot his name. He used to come in those middle to late innings to help out Rivera. Now Rivera has closed games, 2, 3 innings plus. We've seen that before. Yeah, Nelson, Jeff Nelson. There you go. Jeff
Nelson.
Nelson was on that. Yes, Jeff Nelson was not on that team that year. He was on the Mariners. Which by the way, we beat, and they had they're the one that had won 116 games, and we took care of them like.
Yeah, they. He's record season game. I still remember the moment I can still remember that series. The
Yep.
moment that series changed is when Seattle was up. I forgot what game it was, but they were up. They were up pretty big. And then they brought in the dude that the Yankees absolutely killed. And they bought him. I said, man, this game is over. They're gonna kill this dude. I always get him mixed up with Darren Oliver. They killed him too. But he was the other
Oh,
left-handed black guy. He was on
well,
Seattle that year. This guy,
Arthur Rhodes. Arthur
Yankees
Rhodes.
absolutely
Arthur Rhodes.
dude.
Arthur Rhodes. Yep.
Arthur Rhodes. Oh God.
Boy, did they
brought
own them. Even though he's on the
him in.
Orioles, they owned them.
Oh man, this series. I was so hard for Seattle because I was rooting for A-Rod, right? So I was like, please, this it's not gonna
Oh, you're breaking up. So
anything. And they brought in Arthur Rhodes, and I said, wow. So,
yeah, his name
so
should have
that
been
was your biggest
awful.
disappointment?
That is tied actually with 95 divisional series against the Mariners, only because it was the first time in 14 years that they made the playoffs. So in that lifetime as a fan, I only saw them go to one World Series, you know. So I didn't know. I went through the years where it was just chaos in the Bronx, where, you know, Billy Martin getting fired left and right, coming back, you know, stupid stuff going on, nobody showing up in the stadium. You know, they were, you know, finishing last place a couple of years, and, you know, where the Mets owned the town. I was those people who were still representing my Yankees, and people laughing at me like I was crazy. Who had the last laugh now? But but yeah, I was one of those two fans that went through the hard way. Yeah, but the 95 at the time when that happened, and I saw Ken Griffey, you know, that Ken Griffey Jr. rounding those bases as Edgar Martinez, that PA announcer of the Mariners, he would get on my freaking nerves. Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah, Edgar Martinez, and I remember when he hit that ball off of what's his name, Jack, that douchebag, what's his name, Jack O'Dowd, what's his name? I forgot his name. He was on the White Sox. They brought him into relief because they didn't. Yeah, was it? Say it again.
Jack McDowell.
Jack McDowell. There you go. Thank you, Jack McDowell.
Was he?
They brought him into relief because they didn't trust Wetland, because stupid Showalter didn't trust him because he was, you know, he didn't back his freaking closer. So, you know, instead of losing at least with our closer, he puts in a starter that doesn't relieve a game, you know? It was so stupid. But I remember that like yesterday, the ball going down the left field line, down the King Dome, or I call it the King Doom, and Griffey scoring from first, just gliding around the bases like he was a gazelle, heading to home plate, and he was safe by a mile. And I remember ESPN playing that over and over and over the whole night. And I was like, oh man, are they gonna come back ever again in the play? I really, because at that, you gotta remember, this is 95. This is not, Joe Torre didn't come yet. That was the next year. It wasn't like we were going every year like we were. So it was the first time in 14 years. People left the, you know, Mike Stanley left the Yankees. We lost some key players. So we didn't know what was gonna happen. And then Torre came, and the rest was history. Everyone laughed. Oh, Clueless Joe. I remember the back pages of the Daily News. And the rest was history.
Joe. I was laughing my damn self.
And the rest was history. And then we went on a magic carpet ride. We won a World Series we probably shouldn't have won. You know, obviously the Braves were the better team, but we took advantage of the situation. And then we won 4 out of 5. Should have been 5 out of 6. But who's counting? And but those two losses are tied. But it's funny how the dynasty started with that bad loss in Seattle in 95, and the dynasty ended in that 01 Diamondback World Series. And it ended very similar. It was a crushing loss. You know? It's funny how it started the dynasty with the Mariners, with the crushing loss. It ended the dynasty with a crushing loss with the Diamondbacks. Because I don't want to count those other years. Oh, but you won over 100 games in 02 and 03. Yeah, but that was a different team. That's when they started playing rotisserie baseball, and they got like every player in great position. I didn't like that. When they got JC Giambi, and they started getting all these other. That's not that dynasty team.
Because they had so many guys. I mean, Sheffield was in left instead of right.
Sheffield,
So he played right, but then I didn't.
He played right.
He moved him over to left.
Yeah, but sometimes it did.
We talking the team's worst moments? Is that what y'all talking about right now?
Well, yeah. As far as our worst moments as fans, as losses.
Yeah, but it seems like y'all only talking baseball. It doesn't matter what.
Well, no, you could. No, Heaven was going into. He was going to go.
We got to move on. We just stop them, and we have to go to our other sports.
Mine was. Just wanted to. Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Wes.
No, mine is easy. The kick. very, very simple. The kick, 1998.
You know what's funny?
There's nothing that tops it. There's nothing that beats it, in my opinion. I don't care how many other disappointments I've had. There's no bigger disappointment than that. That is,
the miss.
I mean,
I can
come on, man.
I can submit some what?
Yeah. We were a better team.
What?
We were a better team.
The Vikings, or you talking about what?
The Vikings.
Yeah. When he missed the kick in the
15-1 Vikings
championship game. Yep, 15-1.
Teams, always had an appointment with kicks because you were a Buffalo Bill fan back in the day, and then Scott Norwood missed the kick to lose to the Giants.
Yeah, but Scott, I could accept Norwood. I could accept Norwood more than I could accept this. Yes. Because of who's kicking it.
It was a 47-yarder. Right.
For Norwood.
Gary Anderson had not missed all season.
That's why Wes says it's worse because Gary Anderson.
And he's Gary Anderson. I mean, not just. I mean, Scott Norwood is
like a 35-yard field goal.
Yeah, not just for that season, for his career period. Gary Anderson, Scott Norwood was bagging groceries after that game.
And not only that, Scott Norwood was more of an AstroTurf kicker than natural grass. Mm-hmm. I remember them talking about that back then.
Yeah. So I mean, it was very
lining up for that. I looked at him. I said, "He ain't making this kick." Gary Anderson was a shock because he had not missed all year from inside of 40 yards.
Yeah.
So that's why
I was like, we got this. We're going to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like, bomb. He missed it. I said he missed it.
That must have been the worst. I real quickly with football, the one that really stands out, although one of them involves with your Vikings, that terrible loss in that first round, I think it was, where we coughed the lead at the end, in the Meadowlands, and the Vikings won. And I remember the head coach like letting the clock run, and I was like, boy, what an idiot! He's letting the clock run and not trying to do nothing against our team. And look what happened. The game fell in their lap anyway. But to me, the Flipper Anderson game in the '88 playoffs, something about '88, I don't know what it is. The Flipper Anderson
what do you have? 270 yards.
Oh, was that Heaven?
What do you have? Like 200 and something yards against you guys receiving, right?
Yeah, he killed us. I mean, that overtime touchdown at the end, and he just ran into the tunnel. I remember that took me at least 2 weeks to get over, because you gotta remember around that time my Yankees weren't really that great. They were, basically, underachievers, and I had no other, the Knicks weren't the Knicks, so it's like, that was depressing to me. So that to me is one of my worst. That's why definitely as a football fan, as a Giants fan anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's frozen. I think Heaven Hollywood is frozen. So that's that. I guess he won't be sharing his worst moment in sports. But I don't have any other bad moments. That is it. The Vikings.
Yeah, that's a real bad one. Yeah, so yeah,
that's the one.
real...
That I mean, given the personnel behind it, Gary Anderson. Like I said, Norwood was bad too. But you know what? It wasn't a chip shot for Norwood. It should have been made, no doubt. But you talk about Scott Norwood versus Gary Anderson. You know what I mean? Yeah. Gary Anderson, wasn't it like just not that long ago, a couple games ago, he's freaking just had like broke some sort of record with kicks made or something like that.
I know.
And I'm just like, yo, how can this be? You know, I mean, we've had other bad situations where we lost on a kick, but that is the worst because you didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. I mean, I literally, you know what I'm saying? Like for you being a Yankee fan, that is the equivalent of Mariano Rivera coming out there and serving up a grand slam to lose the game. You know what I'm saying? You would never expect that. You would never, that's like, Mariano's up. It's 2 outs. It's 2 strikes. We're gonna get this, and he serves up a grand salami. So that's how I felt. I was like, it's Gary Anderson. We're gonna get this. We're going to the Super Bowl, and I truly believe, and it's obviously just a what if. I believe we would have beat Denver in the Super Bowl. I believe because that was the second time Denver was in, and Elway wasn't that good that year. He was not that good that year.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, and it wasn't definitely.
That was all Terrell Davis that second year.
Oh yeah, and he definitely helped them the first year too. Really.
Yeah, he helped them both years, but I mean, he took a big blunt, and the defense did. The second time they won, I believe we could have beat them. I think we were a better matchup because, I mean, the defense was good, but you know how we do. So you know how Randy Moss did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was tough. But I guess I don't know. I guess Kevin Hollywood is. I don't know if he's coming back on or if he's locked out.
No idea. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Anywho, I don't know. I guess you guys are probably coming down to the end anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you missed the fun in the beginning. We thought we were on the air for a good 10 minutes or so. We weren't.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. Well, this is what happens, man. Technical difficulties. It happens to the best of us. I mean, just look at what happened the other night. Daniel Kaluuya wins the Emmy for winning for playing Fred Hampton and Judas in the Black Messiah. He wins not an Emmy, it was a Golden Globe. Mm-hmm. And his entire speech was muted. Somebody forgot to unmute him. And his entire speech was muted. Somebody forgot to unmute Daniel Kaluuya. So technical difficulties happen to the best of us. That's the Golden Globe Awards. And they made a big old technical error like that. Man, just won Best Actor, for that role in Judas and the Black Messiah. He did his whole damn speech was pretty much muted because somebody forgot to unmute him. So
wow.
But we're all still adjusted to this new form. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That is true. Hey,
he's back. Yeah, now it's nice and clear now. You should start doing the show on your computer, dude.
I was on the computer before.
Oh yeah, and it was messed up. Well, start doing it on the phone, dude. Whichever one is better. Yeah. So I mean, that's I already said mine. That's mine for everything.
Yeah, really quickly. Cause I know we're pressing time now. Football for me, and I think I brought this up on a previous show not long ago. Easy is 2003 championship game against the Titans, the Joe Nedney game, the night that Joe Nedney became an Academy Award winning winner, and they were playing the Titans. Tommy Maddox was actually our quarterback, and it was I believe it was 31-31 at the time. Joe Nedney was kicking for the Titans. They had Air McNair then, and I think it was like it was a chip shot, 32, 33 yards for the win or something like that. He made the kick, but the Steelers actually called timeout. So he had made the kick, but the Steelers called timeout. So then he had to kick it again. This time he misses the kick. Right? That's a classic, call the timeout first time. Second time, misses the kick. And then they called a running into the kicker. Dwayne Washington running in. This was his last year as a Steeler too. Running into the kicker. Joe Nedney goes down like he was shot. Everybody on the field is saying he didn't even touch him, like he totally flopped. They throw the flag. He gets the re-kick. His re-kick is like 28 yards, something like that. Freaking drills it. That was heartbreaking. I think that is that the only Steeler game I ever cried? I think it's the only game I ever cried. Because there was no reason for us to lose that game to him. And then to make it worse, he doesn't even try to hide it. To make it worse, at the post game, he says, I think I'm going to go into acting after football. Pretty much admits to the referees that he was acting. And Cowell was livid. Cowell was our coach then. Cowell was livid. And because he was telling them he didn't even touch him. He's faking. He flopped. They threw the flag, and we ended up losing to the Titans. And that was the year right before Ben, because Ben came in 04, I believe. Yeah, I think that was the year right before Ben. Yeah, so that was my biggest disappointment, and then probably after that would probably be the year we went 15-1 and played New England. We thought we was gonna give them some payback. Got destroyed. Destroyed again. 15-1. We had home field. Like that matter.
15-1 is a jinx.
When it comes to the Steelers, it don't matter for home.
I know Steelers are better on the road.
I mean, you know what's funny, real quick, is that even it's amazing with the Steelers' great history when it comes to championships and all that. They have a horrible AFC championship history at home. I mean, they have so many. It's not like just 2 or 3.
And the teams that they shouldn't be losing to. That's the thing.
And that's the San Diego Chargers that year. You thought it would change when they changed stadiums.
I know.
The San Diego Chargers that year. I think it made it worse going on. The San Diego Chargers that year with Stan Humphries.
You're doing the 49ers that year. Yeah.
Right, and we would have played the 49ers in the Super Bowl. And I think the Chargers got beat like 63-7 or something like that.
Yeah, Steve Young had like 6 touchdowns. I think he threw.
We lost that. That was a big loss. We lost to the Patriots at home the year Brady got hurt.
Yeah.
And then Bledsoe came in, and we still lost. Yeah. We lost to Denver at home one year.
Yeah. Even going back
lost to Jacksonville in the snow. Yeah. In the snow. You lost to a Florida team who never sees snow.
That was You
lost to Jacksonville and David Garrard in the snow.
David Garrard. Wow.
So those were all disappointing losses. And then a couple of years ago, we lost to Jacksonville again. The year that Jacksonville should have beat the Patriots. That was the year the Patriots played in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Jacksonville was up 17 on the Patriots late, and they blew the lead. We lost to Jacksonville and Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles.
Oh, man.
Steelers have lost to some bad quarterbacks, man. And
I know.
They never should have lost.
It's amazing. I mean, to me, as a Knicks fan, the worst was losing that 3-1 lead to the Heat, and it wasn't because they just lost that 3-1 lead to the Heat in the conference finals. It's because of the stupid fight that happened with Charlie Wood.
Oh, that was
Pat Riley held all this guy down.
Pat Riley held everybody back because he knew the consequences of coming off the bench. That was just Van Gundy being too emotional and not thinking on the fly. He should have been calming his people down.
But you know what's funny that you say that, Wes? It goes back to when Pat Riley was the head coach of the Knicks, because that whole thing started with the rule because of Greg Anthony.
Yeah,
and he was on the Knicks. That's what the court fight. I forgot what team it was.
Yeah, I remember that when he wasn't even in uniform.
I think he was in street clothes, and they say
he was in street clothes. He street clothes, came off the bench and started.
That's what the rule of. Okay, well, if you go off the bench, you're gonna be fined and suspended. I mean, Ewing was just taking a stroll. He wasn't. Well, you're on the court. You're suspended again.
Yeah.
So that was terrible. Because, that was our last chance to face the Bulls, although, let's be honest, probably wouldn't have never beaten the Jordan Bulls anyway. The only time they did was when Jordan wasn't there. So
So that's not the Jordan Bulls.
You know what I'm saying? So to beat Jordan, the Knicks never beaten Jordan, even all the other years, even when Rick Pitino was the coach of the Knicks, they never beat Jordan in the playoff series. So I do know that was the worst because it was the way they lost that 3-1 lead. It wasn't like, okay, they just got beat and they choked the 3-1 lead. It's because of the politics, the circumstances that happened. You know what I mean? And that was terrible. Or as Charles Barkley would say, that was terrible.
That was terrible. That was it. And so we lost 7 again. So I guess that's our cue to wrap up.
I guess no stuff this week.
No stuff this week. He keeps
no stuff this week. Just be look out for Heaven's Lives, when it comes on, and of course on here in the IE network too. When that happens, and you get all the scoop of the entertainment news. You want to say anything, Wes, before you bid adieu?
No, I mean just y'all go and check out the TX game. What's up, man? Thank you for joining us. What I want to say is y'all go check out the archive of that we did yesterday of the show for Real Talk. We had on two lovely actresses, professionals, and we were talking about mental health in the industry, basically talking about how to, as an actor, when you take on like a toxic, traumatizing role, how do you release that energy when you're done with that role? Do you release, what's the best way to do it? They gave some good tips for people. And it's not just for actors, it's for tension, period. Like, one of them, she is like a psych major or something like that. And she was talking about how it's, it's clinically proven that, meditation, yoga, really helps you release negative energy. But it was good because it had a nice movie cinematic spin on it. We talked about a lot of cool things. So check that out. And next week, Jimmy, will be doing your suggestion. We'll be doing the top films that made us cry, or top moments in films that made you cry. So that'll be that. Then we lost Jimmy. And a lot of technical difficulties tonight. So we're just going to end the show with that. And I think everybody in the chat room holding us down. I think Jimmy's back in. There he is.
I'm back.
Yeah, thank everybody in the chat room for holding us down, coming through. Joseph, I know Joseph mentioned he had asked a question about the dude the coach, the gymnastics coach that committed suicide because he was about to be convicted for human trafficking and sexual assault, stuff like that. I told him it is a valid topic to talk about, and it is in the sports field. We just didn't have the time to because that is such a heavy topic. You don't want to slight it. You don't want to shortchange it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We didn't want to just fly through it. We want to give it its proper light because that's a whole. Even though it's in the sports world, it's a whole nother situation. You know what I mean? That's like Sandusky all over again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So it's like that. So you got to and we will address it because that's an ongoing thing. I mean, even though he committed suicide, they're gonna still be talking about that. So it's something that we could address, but we just don't have the time to give to it right now. So, but thanks for bringing that up, Joseph. You always, are active in the chat room. We appreciate your activity. Maddie, we always appreciate you.
Oh, yes, Maddie.
Yeah, everybody that came through, man. Game, we definitely appreciate you, everybody. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Jimmy. You can take us out.
Yes, right on time. Right to get on camera. Yes, thank you, Wes, for joining in and participating in the show. Of course, all thanks also go not only to my producer, Wes Clark, but also to Wes's brother, Heaven Hollywood, for being my co-host and being able to do most of the show with me. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. Trust me when I tell you, the opening monologue was dope. It just didn't go on the air. So, but I'd like to thank all of y'all for participating and watching this show. Please tell your friends about the Benchwarmers podcast, sports and stuff, exclusively here on the IE Network on YouTube every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday night. So tell your friends and spread the word. That's what we would love for you to do. And thank you all for watching and participating. And tune in next week when we do more of this show, the Benchwarmers podcast, sports and stuff. Next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. right here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively right here on the IE Network on YouTube. So enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. Be on the lookout for Heaven's YouTube uploads on here when it comes to the industry, the entertainment industry. And of course, like what Wes was talking about, his show, Real Talk, that comes every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the IE Network on YouTube. Excellent show. Very important talking about going through anxiety and stuff like that. That's a very serious topic and something that should be talked about a lot more. So I commend Wes and his crew for talking about that. That should be talked more on a daily basis. And with that being said, I bid you all adieu. Have a good night. And as I go into the IE Network horizon, I say this to you all. Have a great week. Be safe. And I also say this, latest and tomatoes. Peace.